Do you want to enjoy your Christmas holidays without putting on extra kilos or pounds? Today, I'm going to show you how to navigate festive meals like a pro without feeling deprived or left out. Because most men gain an average of 10 pounds or about 5 kilos over this season. And I want you to enter the new year with a head start rather than being on the back foot like most men. I'm about to give you inside access to a private coaching session that I just had with my clients on the strategy that I'm recommending for them so that they can still enjoy Christmas feasts without gaining weight or feeling left out. It's the same strategy that's worked for me over 2 decades, and I'm about to reveal that to you and show you that video. Here it is. Enjoy. So today I want to talk about the festive season, about how to not gain weight this Christmas. And Christmas is a time where it's the highest risk of putting on weight due to various factors. So I'm going to go over those risk factors that we are faced with and then how we can actually counteract them and have a strategy to go in with a battle plan. So that way we're not putting on weight over Christmas. Even if we can maintain weight and still enjoy the food and the company that we have, that's a win in my books because you go into the next year one step ahead of most other people that might be 5 kilos or 10 pounds overweight. And that's average that I see people putting on weight because I get a lot of men come to me in January. They go, Andrew, I've put on 5 kilos and I need to do something about this weight because it's just creeping up and I've already put on weight over Christmas. So I don't want that to be you. So let's go through together how we can avoid that from happening. So there are the risks this festive season. A lot of the foods are rich foods. So they're high in calories, high in fat, which means than what we're normally used to. So that's a big risk for us because the more calories you have that we're not burning, then the chance of that turning to fat becomes much higher. So we need to make sure that we're keeping this in mind with what we consume. Also, there's a lot of sauces involved. So things like gravies as well, those that have turkeys or roasts, sauces, both sweet and fatty as well. There's things that we have to be careful of, or even sauces on desserts too, like the sticky date pudding with the butterscotch sauce, which I'll be having Christmas Eve. So that's something that we need to be careful of. And the sweets, there's always typically sweets with meals as well. So that's additional fat and calories. Soft drinks are usually on hand as well. So sugary drinks are things that we'll need to try and avoid in order for us to not put on weight. Alcohol is typically free flowing. And that's another reason that we becomes a high risk. We also can be less active. So we're not working around this season typically. And so that might mean that we're just sitting down for most of the day rather than walking around hustling and bustling. We're normally just driving to someone's house or hosting people at our house. And we're just sitting down and not burning calories, which means it becomes a high risk we put on weight. You would have constant access to food and drinks on Christmas Day or any festive days around that. So for example, like you might have lunch and then there might be some snacks that are put in before or after the meal. So there's always food in front of you, right? There's those snacks and there's the drink as well. It's there in front of you. So it's very easy just to reach for it and eat it. And you're also in a relaxed environment too. So when you're more relaxed, you think, you know what, doesn't matter. I'll just have another one. And because you're relaxed and you're not busy, and you're always seeing the food, that increases the risk of you wanting to eat more, drink more, and therefore put on weight. So we need to form some strategy around this because if we don't have a strategy and a plan, you go in unprepared. So we need to be, first of all, mentally prepared. And that's where we go back to these, revising your goals. What are your goals? Have you achieved those goals, both short-term and long-term goals? How far away are you from those goals? Were you planning to be under 100 kilos by Christmas time? If you're not there yet, that should give you even more motivation to be more careful over Christmas. Or if you're aiming to be a certain weight for a certain function, some people want to be a certain weight by their birthday next year, or they might have a wedding next year, whether it be a family member or whatever it is. Have you reached that? How far are you from that goal? And so therefore, this should help you be more prepared and do something about it. And the other thing is your why. Why is it that you do want to get to your healthy weight? Why is it that you want to lose weight? And so that way you can put some level of effort into it rather than saying, doesn't matter. I'll just enjoy it and then worry about it next year. So these are the first things that we need to go through. Then we need to do some more planning, and that is plan ahead for the day. So whether it be just the Christmas day or if it's Christmas Eve, for me, it's the 23rd, it's the 24th, and it's the 25th. So I have to strategize all 3 days in a row. Some people it might be a week. So for me, I'm going to be well prepared and I'm going to make sure that I'm eating super clean and lean for the whole duration of the week beforehand. So that way, even if I can shed 1 or 2 kilos myself, I don't need to lose weight. But if I can have that deficit, so if I do put on 1 or 2 kilos during those few days, I go back to even. So that's something that you can do. And then if you're just looking at, for example, a scenario where you're having Christmas lunch. So look at the scenarios that you're going to go through. If it's going to be a Christmas lunch, think, what can I do to reduce the calories I'm having for that day? Can I skip dinner? That's a good one, right? Because you're probably full enough for lunch that you won't require dinner. So you can skip dinner and reduce the amount of overall fat calories you're having for that day. Or if you're having just a normal breakfast and a normal lunch, that's fine. But then you've got a Christmas dinner or a Christmas Eve dinner, you can skip breakfast the next day. That's a way to counteract that. So plan ahead for the day. Every scenario is different. Work out what you need to do. Now, snacks. Typically, when you go into someone's house or you go to these feasts, there'll be snacks there waiting for you. So you got to make sure that if you are hungry, don't fill up. Don't fulfill your hunger with just the snacks. Remember that you've got the meal to come and that you need to allow room for that. So don't fill up. It can be so easy to fill up with chips, crackers, and cheese. So choose some healthier options. So there should ideally be some vegetable sticks there, some carrot or cucumber and some dips, and just put a little bit of dip on there. Choose the healthiest dip there that's available and then do that instead. Or if instead of having a big chunk of cheese, just have a little slither of cheese and just have it on its own rather than have it with a cracker. So you're still getting that taste of cheese, but not adding that extra carbs with it. So think of some ways that you don't fill up, keep room for your meal, and choose healthier options with snacks. Now, let's look at the main meal. This will be where most of the damage can happen. I want you to just have one plate, not 2 plates, not 3 plates, as tempting as it can be, one plate. You can fill that plate up. That's fine, but just keep it as one. And now that you know that I've only got this one plate, I'm going to make the most of it. So I want you to scan what's on offer, whether it's like a buffet style or whether you're being served food. If you can determine what food is available and you are going to be able to choose those foods, I want you to choose the things that are most tastiest to you, what you want to enjoy the most. So if I see some foods, I'm like, you know what, I can do without garlic bread. I don't need that. I'm not a big fan of steamed or baked potatoes. I'd rather fill up my plate with stuff that I really love and that's really tasty. So that's something that you should do. Scan, review what's in front of you and you pick the best stuff. But make sure that it's protein dominant. So make sure there's protein on your plate, at least a quarter plate, right? So fill it up with protein and just don't fill it up with all just carbs, rice and potatoes. That's going to help you not put on weight as well and keep you fuller as well and not put on fat. Minimize the sauces too. Those sauces that I mentioned, that might be sweet, high in sugar, like cranberry sauce or gravy. These things need to be avoided as best as possible. So if you do enjoy it, just minimize it enough just to taste it, but don't drench it and drown it. Eat slowly and enjoy it. You've got one plate, enjoy it. Make the most of it, let it last. So if that means you eat slower because other people are going for second plates, you finish your plate because you're having one, people are going for seconds and you're looking sad and miserable. Eat slowly, time it so that you're still having it while other people are going for their seconds, and maybe just have smaller bite sizes. Cut smaller pieces and enjoy it, taste it, savor it. Our palates are very sensitive and can taste so many different foods and flavors. Enjoy it. And when you start talking in that, sometimes when you're in a conversation, you can forget what the food tastes like. So just be intentional about enjoying that food. I love sweets. I love my dessert almost as more than the savory meal. Have a plate, but make it a small plate. So if there's hopefully smaller plates, go for the smaller plate. And once again, you scan and just see what's on offer here. What is it that's worth the calories? What's it worth in your eating? If there's stuff there that you don't enjoy or don't really fancy, you don't have it. You don't have to fill up your plate. You don't have to have it. Just only have what you really feel like, really enjoy. Number 6, avoid sugary drinks. This includes juice. So avoid the soft drinks, avoid the fruit juices, avoid them completely because they're high in sugar. Having sugar-free drinks is okay. So that's a good option. Things like Coke Zero, sugar-free soft drinks, that's fine to have because they've got no sugar, no calories. Not the best for your health, so keep that in mind as well, unless they're all natural. Moderate your alcohol. I'm not saying to cut it out, I'm saying to moderate it. So have some level of moderation. So avoid the sugary mixes that you might have. For example, some people have bourbon and Coke. So instead of having Coke, full sugar Coke, have Coke, sugar-free Coke. Or just don't have any mixes and just have it straight. Or have sugar-free mixes such as soda water, or depending on the season, whether it's hot or not, you can do like things like fruit infused soda water, have it over a lot of ice, that sort of thing. And I want you to alternate your alcohol. So they have one after the other, alternate it with another drink, that whether it be water, soda water, or even a sugar-free drink. But water is better because it's going to help you. When you're drinking alcohol, your liver is going to be working harder to try and filter it out. So having water will help flush that out. Because if you look at when someone is drunk, what's the term they use? They're intoxicated, which means there's a level in the body. So it is a toxin in a way. And the liver's trying to detox the alcohol from your body. Water will help with that. So I encourage you to have lots of water, at least one drink of water, glass of water between your alcohol. And a bonus tip, don't have to do this. If you can exercise before, after, or even both, what that's going to do is it's going to burn more fat, going to burn some carbohydrates, give you a bit of a deficit. So beforehand, you can get yourself in a calorie deficit and eat that food guilt-free. If you want to go for a walk afterwards or do an exercise session afterwards and burn those calories that you've just eaten, that's a good option too. It's always good to do it on the same day before it actually turns into fat. And it can also increase your metabolism, which means it'll burn more of what you've eaten. So that's my tips in summary. I want you to enjoy it, but remember, it's about balance, not deprivation. So enjoy it, have a balanced approach, use this strategy, and have a Merry Christmas. Well, there you have it. My secret strategy to not gaining weight during Christmas. I suggest you save this video so that way you can look over it later on and go over those steps and apply them during this Christmas season. I hope you do apply it, and let me know in the comments below which part of that did you find most helpful and which one will you use this Christmas season. If you did find it helpful, please click the like button below and subscribe to this channel. That way you don't miss out on any future videos that I do every week on weight loss tips for busy dads. I'm Andrew Jacks from Six Pack Dad. I wish you and your family a Merry and blessed Christmas.